Hello. Kevin here. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm making another Thoughts from 3 a.m. video, though I'm not recording this at 3 a.m. In all honesty, I'll get into that a little bit later, but I felt like I should continue making these because, sometimes talking to a faceless machine is fun. For some very strange reason, it's weird that this is now a habit. I just got back from a conference in Mountain View. I've been flying and transferring between flights and walking through bunches and bunches of airports. I have a wristwatch that... Where's my wrist? Well, anyway, I'm not wearing it now, but I have walked miles, lots of miles in the past few days, which is probably, not the worst thing for my figure. Though it's kind of balanced out by the sitting on airplanes part. But anyway, very excited to be back. One of the reasons that I am excited to be back is, and I'm excited to show you this, I got this new toy in the mail. It's been sitting here most of this week, so I was really excited to get back so I could play with it. I mentioned, if you listen to the Code Monkey podcast that I do with Alex Bragdon, I've been a little bit obsessed. Well, and I guess it even sort of came up in the last video, but I've been very interested all of a sudden in input devices. Particularly, I've been trying to work on touch typing because I've not been satisfied with the words per minute that I can get on a computer keyboard. The last video that I made, I set up something that let me use MIDI. I've got this Korg Nano key that I can use. Occasionally I use it when I'm making song stuffs. And you can type on it, and it's got a USB, and it's a MIDI driver or whatever. But yeah, so I wrote a little script that would take these inputs and then convert them into actual letters, which I thought was fun. I was trying to see if, maybe, since I'm very comfortable with the piano keyboard, been doing that since far longer than I'm typing on a computer keyboard, maybe I could get faster output that way. Nope. not even slightly, as those of you who watched the last video saw/listened to. It was fun, though, trying to see if there were ways to structure things so that they made sense from a hand position perspective, and also to some extent from an auditory perspective. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see if there's a way to set things up such that the sound that you get when you press a key helps reinforce that pathway until eventually, just by listening, when you've made a typo, or, for whatever, you start to associate the sound pattern. And I think I mentioned on the podcast, it'd be really cool if eventually you could just start, instead of reading, you just listen to this series of tones and be like, oh, yeah, I agree, or I disagree, whatever. But anyway, back to this thing. This thing is really cool because it's not requiring me to write scripts. This is a Bluetooth one-handed chording keyboard device, and I don't know how the lighting is on this webcam, but you see there are a bunch of buttons here on the back of the thing, and then there's a little mouse nubbin, which is not the best, and then modifier keys on top. But the idea is that you kind of play this almost like you record on a guitar, and you can do a whole bunch of stuff that way. So I've been playing with this just very briefly because I just got it today, and so far I'm up to something like 5 words per minute. So that's very exciting. This may be my new favorite thing. I think it's slower than the music tones thus far, but who knows? With a bunch of practice, plus I can carry this around and use it like with my phone or any sort of device. So I'm interested to see if I can actually get this up to something that is sort of usable. It'd be really cool to just have this and be able to carry it around and just decide I want to work on a script, or I want to write some other stuff or whatever, and just be able to just walk around and just do this kind of in the background, record all this stuff out. I don't know. I think it'd be cool, especially if stuff like Google Glass ever ends up taking off, because Google Glass did not, because it looked weird. They didn't think about that. Wasn't particularly exciting for people to walk around with that thing on. But if there's eventually some sort of way where you can get, just some sort of feedback, in your field of view, I think that'd be really, really cool to be able to just type stuff. I could be like on the subway, and then just in writing whatever the heck I want, just in my hand. That'd be really cool. So I don't know. I'm going to play with this over the next few weeks and see if I can get the words per minute up to something that's kind of reasonable. But I wanted to talk today about doing less to do more, because I have been a bit frustrated lately with my lack of output in a bunch of areas. There are a couple of things that I've been doing pretty well on. I've not defaulted on the podcast episode. Those take a fair amount of time to go ahead and edit, far longer than well, I shouldn't say far longer. But you kind of really do have to go through the whole thing in real time, so it's very different from editing a video, and it feels longer because you're sitting there, kind of listening to 2 hours of stuff and then just making random cuts the whole time. So it takes quite a while, and that's just for a single pass. But I've been managing to get those out on a weekly basis, and also been doing a lot of writing for the NaNoWriMo stuff. I'm at like 42,000 words. I should be at the 50,000 woohoo, you've done it point in the next few days, though I don't think my story is anywhere near close to done. But as far as actually getting videos out, I've been woefully behind, and there are a lot of things that I really do want to get done. I've been asking myself, what is it that's preventing me from getting this stuff done? And I realized last weekend, it was Saturday, and I said, you know what, I don't have to do anything today. I don't think, I needed to do like one or two minor things. But yet I realized toward the end of the day that I felt really stressed out. And I sat down and I wondered, well, what's actually going on? And I realized that throughout the entire day, I had flitted from task to task based on just sort of what I felt the most anxiety about. I got up and I was listening to a book, and then eventually I was like, I really should go practice the piano. So then I went and practiced the piano, and as I'm practicing the piano, I did that until eventually I went, I really just want to sit down and play some video games, and I did that, and then I really should go do something else. And the weird kind of thing is that throughout the entire day, literally the entire day, it was a matter of working on one particular task until the stress of other things trying to command my attention became greater than, I guess, my inertia. And then I moved to another task. There was never a point where I was like, okay, I am just here. What would I like to do? It was a matter of, it's constantly just context switching between thing to thing. And I think a lot of us, I hope that I'm not alone in this, but I think a lot of us do this. And it's just sort of this subconscious, this sort of like highway hypnosis thing. And like I hadn't realized that the entire day had just been, working on this, and I'm hungry, and I'm working on that. Now I'm too hungry, I'm going to go get food. And then I was eating food, and I really need to go do this and that. And it's frustrating because none of the things that I was doing was to excess or particularly wrong or anything like that. But it caused me a lot of undue stress. And so I think a lot of this has to do with the internet and my relationship to it. More my relationship to it thing. I don't think that the distractions of the internet are necessarily a bad thing. But I think the problem for me is one of cycle time. That the fact that something can become out of date so quickly. I don't think there's any of us who goes to our Twitter feeds and only refreshes once. Or maybe you do. Maybe you have a lot more self-control than I do. I don't know. But so I'm going to try, and it just meant that I haven't kind of sat down and been able to just decide this is the thing that I want to be doing right now, and then just do that until I no longer want to be doing that. And in particular, I want to do a bunch of stuff. I want to work on these video ideas that, I want to get out. Obviously, I need to edit the podcast stuff, and I want to work on the Code Monkey Podcast website and my own personal website, because it's been sitting there, and there's nothing there, and there should be. I'd like to put stuff up there. And then, obviously, there's writing and stuff. So, a lot of stuff that I want to do, and a lot of stuff that I want to put out there for you guys to see and interact with, and I just haven't because I've been flitting between all of these different tasks and not even realizing that I'm kind of trapped in the cycle. So I'm going to try something this weekend, and I'm going to unplug my router. Again, I don't think the internet is bad, but I think that the way perhaps that I can interact with the internet in a better fashion is if I say, all right, on Friday, I'm going to know that I have 2 weeks offline. So I can download anything that I want. I can, I could decide to sit and write a whole bunch of tweets to go out Monday morning. That's totally fine. But I need the kind of the forcible time block where this is not a time for a feedback loop. So I'm going to try that for this weekend. So I will be offline. That's why I'm recording this not at 3 a.m. But it'll be scheduled. It'll go up at 3 a.m. So if you see me online, please yell at me and tell me not to be online, because that will kind of invalidate this experiment. And if it goes well, maybe that'll be something that I start to develop a habit of. But I don't know. Figured I would give that a try. But anyway, that's what's going on in my life. I hope that your life is going well. Yes. So let me know in the comments. Unfortunately, I will not see anything until Monday. But interact with each other. See how other people are doing. Because, other people, they're pretty cool. Alrighty. Anyway, I will talk to you the next time I talk to you. Cheers.